Hey, welcome back to Project Me. It's been 2 or 3 weeks now, and coming back with a new little summary update. This is the 50th video, I think, which is absolutely incredible, which means day 49 of Project Me, I think. But I would have liked to have more videos by now, but that's not always possible. And that's okay. That's okay. In any case, we're coming to the end of the holidays, the New Year, Christmas period. So I'm hoping that you've all had an absolutely wonderful Christmas or New Year, whether you celebrate Christmas or whether you celebrate the Gregorian calendar New Year. Just wishing you all, happy holidays. And I hope you got to spend time with family and friends or whoever it is in your life that matters. For my part, I had appendicitis on Christmas Eve. So that was a very fun beginning of the holidays. It kept me busy, surgery, anesthesia, we love it. Uh, um, yeah, no, appendicitis, great fun. I'm just grateful I got it in France and not in another country um, that I was traveling in, just because France has a very robust public health system. And if I were in a less developed country when I was traveling and I got appendicitis, it could be a coin toss. So grateful that I got it now and not later. So pros, cons, I guess, to getting appendicitis, but that's okay. No, I mean the day before Christmas Eve, the 23rd, I ate some bread and chocolate. Great combination to begin with, and then I started getting stomach pains, and I was like, oh, that's just a terrible stomach ache. It felt like my stomach was swollen and bloated to the point that it was stretching and quite painful. I just thought it was a stomach ache, and so I would have carried on to the end. I think visiting a doctor or the hospital never even occurred to me until my homestay mother suggested it being appendicitis. I was like, oh, yeah, the symptoms align. Maybe, just maybe. And so I walked to, what do they call it? A house of doctors here, but it's just like a general practitioner, a GP. I walked there and I nearly fall twice from the pain on the way over. Not my brightest move. I should have just Ubered, given the pain. But I get there and waiting in line for an hour and a half, and they finally call me in and they go, "Oh yeah, you've got appendicitis. We're going to send you to the hospital." So I end up, again, not my brightest moment. I end up walking to the hospital and nearly collapsing again from the pain. But now I get to the hospital. I'm waiting around, waiting around, waiting around. They go, "Yep, we'll operate on you tonight because it's a very urgent thing." I get to maybe 11 o'clock at night. I'm still sitting at the hospital. And they come to me and go, "Yeah, so we don't have room for you. We're going to move you to tomorrow morning. So we're going to come back in at 8." So I go back to my apartment and I sleep. I come back at 8 and absolute nightmare, by the way. They said to go to the fifth floor, and which is where they'll get me ready for the surgery and everything. So I go to the fifth floor. They say, "No, we actually want you to go back down to the emergency room." So I go back down to the emergency room. They do all the same tests as the day before. So I'm waiting for 2 hours for test results, and then whatever. And then they say, "Okay, go into this room, get dressed. We'll come and get you for the surgery any moment now." So I go into the room, I get dressed in the the little hospital robes, and then 3 hours later they come for me. And by this point, I'm doubled over, like, "Oh, just kill me now, strike me down." And so they finally put me under anesthesia, thank goodness. I wake up a few hours later, after the surgery, and my first, they don't know I'm not French, and their first words, my first words to them after they've woken me up are, "Oh, good, I still understand French." And they were so confused. They must have thought that I just imagined that I'd lose any capacity for language after waking up from anesthesia. I don't know what they thought, but they had a good laugh. Spent the next few days, next day, in the hospital. They wouldn't let me leave. Fair enough. But then the next morning, I woke up. Surgeon came to see me, said I was all good. He let me leave, which was fantastic because I wanted to go visit my family in the UK for Christmas. So they let me leave and to go on a train. So I Ubered, this time I was smart, I Ubered back to the apartment. But, and oh my god, this is terrible, I left my phone in the Uber. So, so I get to the apartment and I'm going, wait, I need my phone. So I run as fast as my recently operated intestine gut will let me go up to my apartment and hop on WhatsApp and message my dad, who's 12-hour difference, given he's all the way back in New Zealand, saying, hey, can you just repeatedly call my phone? And thank goodness he was still awake at 11 at night, his time. So he starts calling it, and at the same time as he's calling it, I'm going on the Uber. I'm trying to sign in on the Uber website so I can, log a lost phone or whatever. And the Uber driver, fantastic guy, by the way, picks up to my dad and says, yeah, I'll drop it back off. So about an hour later, he comes by again after he's done some other customers. And thank goodness for this man. What an absolute legend. He refused the money when I offered, but I managed to slip 25 euros into his pocket on the way out. But, oh my god, so stressful. I just come out of surgery. Still had the effects of drugs in me. Lose my phone in the Uber, which is the only way I can sort of communicate with my family in England. Not to mention travel, communicate with anyone, really, besides my computer back at the apartment. Just absolute nightmare. I wanted to just lie on my bed and sob and just cry. It's all I wanted to do. But no rest for the wicked. So immediately after getting my phone back, I left to get to the train station on the other side of Paris. So 3 metros later, some incredible pain and discomfort. We get to the train station, and then we board the train, and then we train over to to the UK. And I spent Christmas with my family there, which was really, really good. Really enjoyed spending Christmas with them. I hadn't seen them in years, that branch of the family, so really, really good to spend time with them. And I hope they enjoyed seeing me again as well. I felt quite bad because the way I've been raised is to always, you express your gratitude with words, but you also try and do it with actions as well. And so normally what I do is, I'd help clean up, I'd help clean, I'd help get things ready for dinner and things like that. But I was in so much discomfort, all I could really do was just lie on the couch and look around. And I felt so terrible, just because I wasn't able to express my thanks, my gratitude for hosting me, for feeding me for Christmas the way I normally would. So that was a little bit disappointing, and I felt quite gutted and terrible about that, but they didn't seem to mind, thank goodness. But still, not fun. But no, really good to spend time with them. I came back a few days later, and yeah, so those are my holidays. Good fun. Yeah, good fun. Absolute adventure. Great story in retrospect, nearly spending Christmas in a French emergency room. Appendicitis, it's all in the holiday spirit. On the 24th day of Christmas, on the 23rd day of Christmas, my true love got for me appendicitis. But no matter, we're recovered, we're getting better. They said 6 weeks, no sport. I'll probably try and find a loophole just because life is so boring without doing sports. So here we are. What else can I reflect on? Oh, yes. So I really enjoy spending time with my homestay sister. I don't think... Well, she probably doesn't enjoy spending the same amount of... Well, she may not enjoy spending the same amount of time with me. And that's okay. But the thing to reflect on is the fact that I've noticed that I've been getting a lot of people-pleasing urges around this. I really want her to like me and thus spend time with me. I've really noticed that urge of wanting to be liked by it come out. And I've thought a lot about this, and I suspect it's because I'm living abroad, I don't have as many people I can spend time with. And so I'm putting more reliance on the few amount of people that I do know. namely my homestay sister, who I spend the most time with, given I live with her. And so I'm sort of overcompensating for that a little bit. And so I really want her to like me. I really want her to spend time with me. And I keep getting this return of this people pleasing urge. It's just something I've noticed. I haven't let it affect my actions, so there's not much to reflect on in terms of how I've acted. At least I don't think I've let it influence my actions. But it's just something to be aware of, and something that I wouldn't have expected, coming abroad. But it makes sense. It's logical. About as logical as emotions can be, I suppose. But that's something that I found quite interesting. I've given it a lot of thought. I do really enjoy spending time with her. She's very fun. She's very amusing. I do enjoy her sense of humor as well, which is good. She's just good fun. But no matter, if we spend time together, we spend time together. If not, it's okay. It's okay. Just have to remember that it will be okay. What else? Oh yes, the other day homesick is the word that comes to mind. But let me just clarify that expression. Because I've lived in so many different places, I've been very lucky to, and because I'm not bound to any one nationality, I don't feel like I have a home. Which has pros and cons. It's a little bit depressing, I think, but that's okay. So even though I live in Wellington, New Zealand, it's not my home, so to speak. My things are there, yes. I've got friends there, yes, but it's not home. I don't know where home is, but it's not home. So it's homesick for a place that isn't really home, if that makes sense. I want to get back to Wellington, which really surprises me. That wants of wanting to return shocked me. I wasn't expecting it either. And I think it's just because here, when I'm speaking French, with my homestay family, on the streets with people, just with society in general, it's not me. It's just a different shade of me, because of course it's like code switching. You're slightly different depending on who you're around or what language you're speaking in this case. And so I'm speaking what I believe is a very crude French, just because I'm not able to express myself as precisely as I might be able to in English. So being here and speaking this imprecise, or this French that is imprecise to who I am, just makes me miss being precise in English. And of course, being precise in English is what I am in Wellington. This is what I hope I am, but no matter. So it's sort of like a wanting for who I am back home. It's curious. It's very curious. And particularly because back in Wellington, I could make things happen, but here, things happen to me. And it's not that I have this incessant need to be in control, but I like being organized. And whereas here, when things happen to me constantly, it's reacting as opposed to being proactive like I would be in Wellington. So now that I'm speaking about it, I'm realizing more that it's not necessarily a desire to be back in Wellington, but it's a desire to feel more in control, more organized with my life. So I miss feeling in control of my life more than I miss Wellington itself. Yeah, okay, curious. There you go, a little realization. Thinking aloud. It's interesting. Who would have known? But anyways, I won't... Oh my god, 14 minutes, such a long video. I won't delay you any longer. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful, holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or New Year or not. I just hope you had a great time with your family and friends, or whoever your loved ones are, whoever you choose to spend time with. Just wishing you all the best, and cheers to a great new year to come. So, all the best, guys. Take care.